Hi everyone, it's KIREI here for Hey Little Magpie, and I am using the beautiful Pretty Little Studio You Are My Sunshine collection. I have this fabulous floral pattern paper. It's called Fresh Blooms. And then I'm just taken some white cardstock. This is the Arden Creative Studio Premium cardstock in bright white, and I love the quality of this cardstock. It comes in two whites, bright white and a natural white. Um, so what I decided to do is use the square and then have a floral frame with this beautiful patterned paper. And I kept it to quite a wide floral frame because I didn't want to lose too much of it. And then I'll keep the square center as I will use that as a feature on another layout. So just getting that all stuck down, and then I can work on placement of photos and all of the lovely embellishments. Now, I have to say, this layer ended up feeling a little similar to this layer I did previously using the same collection. So, yeah, probably a few videos back. Because I had the floral pattern paper with it comes with a floral border. So it's a bit of a softer border. Obviously, I've cut this one. Yeah, and the central photo, and then yeah, so they look a bit similar, but actually for me, the photos are from Chelsea in Bloom, and both in on both layouts, so they'll sit together in my album anyway, and I quite like that they'll have that sort of similarity. So yeah. Anyway, what I was just showing there was the I die cut some of the little white sort of floral leafy elements, and that's from the Arden Creative Studio Textures by Lou Collins. It's the Beneath the Brambles collection, and I've just used the craft die set called Document and Discover, and I've just pulled out a couple of those because I wanted to build up that floral cluster down the bottom. The idea I had was to use some of the really lovely floral ephemera that comes with the Pretty Little Studio You Are My Sunshine collection, and create almost a bit like a little garden, with all the flowers along the bottom. And then I just tucked in some of those white die cuts just to build it up a little bit more. So that's where I was going. So I'm sort of happy with what I've got. So now I'm just backing my photos. I was going to do them individually, and then I decided to stick with the sort of straight, because I wasn't sure I was happy with how I was sort of angling the photo. So I went with this sort of straight block across the center there, with my three photos. And then I'm just raising the top edge with some foam strips, and then it'll be flat along the bottom. So I'm sort of, I mean, this is the gist of what it's going to look like. Next is really just about getting it all stuck down. Um, so I've sort of played with the photos, and then I've been distracted, and now I'm going to the top right. I've got these lovely scalloped border strips, and I'm just layering up two of them, and I'm going to create a cluster up there using some of the hearts, flowers, and butterflies. Now, the scallop die cuts actually come from the Pretty Little Studio Love is Kind collection, because I had both of them, and you find that some of the things really just you can mix and match very easily. So I just used a couple of the scallop strips from that. So what I did there, I've just stitched along the top of those scallop strips, and then I've added some zigzag detail around each of the other three cardstock edges. Okay, so sticking down the top cluster now. You can see I've been curving those edges, and I'm raising this flower on a foam pad, so I'm getting that little bit of dimension. But there's lots of really beautiful flowers in the ephemera pack. So I've used the Fresh Bloom Stems Floral Die Cuts, the Fruit Salad Die Cuts, and the Butterfly Wings Die Cuts. So in a typical Pretty Little Studio collection, there are lots of different options. It's lovely, but you just have to sort of navigate your way through it because it might feel a little overwhelming. And so I sort of generally start when I'm working with anything like Pretty Little Studio is picking out some of the pattern papers and then sort of working up to the embellishments and adding those on once I've worked out which papers I'm really wanting to use. So yeah. So here we are creating my what I decided was going to be like a little garden, a little border of flowers. Again, adding some foam pads to behind the tops of some of them, just to raise them up slightly. And then I'm going to replicate the hearts in the bottom corner and over to the bottom right as well. So I've got that sort of almost triangle with those hearts. I was just going to look. The hearts are actually from one of the cut apart sheets, and I don't think I've written that down actually. Apologies, but yeah, there you'll find them under the You Are My Sunshine collection. So I've added all the little white die cuts in there as well. So I'm really built up that pretty floral border. I've got that very cute little yellow ladybug that had to go in here. This layout, I've tended to focus more on the sort of peachy, pinky tones and just added some pops of the very soft blue. My previous layout, that is, as I said, was a little similar. I've gone with focusing on sort of the reddy cherry colours. So I had a red border around it, and I've added more of the reddy toned embellishments as well. So I've moved towards the more, as I say, lemony, peachy tones with a few pops of the pale blue. Okay, so getting there, playing around with where some of these butterflies are going to go. As always, I never can make up my mind. I've got some cute little bees that I've added. That large butterfly was hanging around for a while, but I just decided it was too much because I had the large hearts and I thought, no, I'm going to stick with the smaller ones. But as you can see here, I'm backwards and forwards, but I think I'm finally making a decision and I'm sticking with the pretty orange one. And then I'm almost done. These are some of the sequins from one of the Hey Little Magpie monthly embellishment kits, which are fabulous. There's all sorts of bits and pieces that come with them. You can sign up to a subscription and, you know, this box of goodies comes to you each month and you can get anything from sequins and ribbons and trims and puffy flowers and fabric fabricy flowers and all sorts of things, charms, etc. Paper clips. Yeah, it's fabulous. And I love going backwards and forwards into those kits to see what I can use. I've pulled out the Bella Boulevard Florence alpha stickers in bell pepper, and I'm using that to say flower power along the top. And there we go. There's my final layout. I love how it came together. I love all the beautiful florals in this collection, and I've certainly focused on those in this layout. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the process video, and I'll see you again soon. For now.